What kind of person screams at a teenager over a bag of dog food? The question hung in the air like a storm cloud as Karen, red-faced and seething, towered over the Petco cashier. Her voice sliced through the store's hum-shrill, unrelenting, a verbal battering ram. This is outrageous. Do you know who I am? I spend hundreds here every month. The cashier, a lanky boy named Ethan, barely 18, fumbled with the scanner, his hands shaking. He mumbled an apology, but Karen wasn't having it. Her eyes, narrowed to slits, gleamed with a righteous fury that seemed to feed on his discomfort. The line behind her grew restless. A woman clutching a leash shifted her weight, her dog whining softly. Another customer, a man in a faded baseball cap, pulled out his phone, the faint click of the camera app barely audible over Karen's tirade. The trouble started over a simple mix-up. Karen's preferred brand of organic dog food was out of stock, and the replacement bag she'd grabbed didn't qualify for the sale price. Ethan had tried to explain, his voice soft and uncertain, but Karen took it as a personal attack. "You're incompetent," she spat, slamming her fist on the counter. A bag of treats tipped over, spilling kibble across the floor. Ethan froze, his face pale, as Karen leaned closer, her breath hot with indignation. "I want your manager now. You think you can rip me off? I'll have your job." The store felt smaller, the air thicker, as her words echoed off the shelves stacked with pet toys and aquariums. Customers exchanged glances, some embarrassed, others angry. The man with the phone edged closer, his lens trained on Karen's contorted face. Ethan's manager, a tired-looking woman named Maria, appeared from the back, her apron wrinkled from a long shift. She tried to defuse the situation, her tone calm but firm. "Ma'am, let's figure this out. The sale price applies to specific brands, but I can offer a discount." Karen scoffed, her arms crossed tightly over her chest. "A discount? I don't want your pity. I want what I'm owed." Maria's eyes flickered with exhaustion, but she held her ground, explaining the store policy again. Karen wasn't listening. She was too busy building her case, her voice climbing higher, accusing the staff of deceit, of disrespect, of everything but her own misunderstanding. The man filming smirked faintly, his thumb hovering over the record button, capturing every word. The truth was simpler than Karen's outrage suggested. The sale sign clearly listed the eligible brands, and her choice wasn't one of them. Ethan had scanned the item correctly. The system didn't lie, but Karen didn't want facts, she wanted victory. She thrived on the power of her anger, the way it made people shrink. She'd done this before at coffee shops, grocery stores, anywhere she felt slighted. To her, the world was a battlefield, and she was always the wronged hero. But this time, she hadn't noticed the phone. She hadn't seen the man's quiet resolve to expose her, and she couldn't know that his video, already uploading to the internet, would unravel her carefully crafted image in ways she'd never imagined. As Karen's rant continued, a new voice cut through the noise. "Excuse me, but you're holding up the line." It was the woman with the leash, her tone sharp but controlled. Her name was Sarah, a single mom who'd come to buy food for her rescue dog. She was tired, not from a shift, but from life. Her patience for Karen's theatrics was thin. Karen whirled on her, eyes blazing. "Mind your own business," she snapped, but Sarah didn't back down. "This is a store, not your personal stage. Let the kid do his job." The air crackled with tension. Ethan glanced at Maria, who gave him a subtle nod to keep scanning. The man with the phone adjusted his angle, catching Sarah's defiance and Karen's fury in the same frame. The confrontation was escalating, and the store was no longer just a pet show, pit was a stage for a reckoning. Sarah's interruption was the twist no one saw coming. Karen, used to cowering opponents, faltered for a split second. Her face flushed deeper, a mix of embarrassment and rage. She wasn't just fighting the store now, she was fighting a witness, someone who dared call her out. "You don't know me," Karen hissed, stepping toward Sarah. The dog at Sarah's feet growled softly, sensing the hostility. Sarah stood her ground, her eyes steady. "I know enough. she said quietly. You're bullying a kid over dog food. That's who you are right now. The words landed like a slap, and for a moment, Karen's mouth hung open, speechless. The man filming zoomed in, his video now a perfect storm of drama, ready to ignite the internet. The standoff in the Petco grew electric, the air buzzing with unspoken challenges. Karen's eyes darted between Sarah and Ethan, her anger now a tangled mess of defiance and humiliation. She wasn't used to being called out, especially not by someone like Sarah, whose calm resolve made Karen's outburst look childish. You think you're better than me? Karen spat, her voice trembling with venom. Sarah didn't flinch. I think you're making a fool of yourself, she said, her words cutting through the noise like a blade. The man filming, whose name was Jake, adjusted his stance, his phone steady as he captured the escalating drama. He'd come to buy fish food, but now he was documenting a spectacle that would soon flood social media feeds. Karen turned back to Ethan, doubling down. Scan it again. I know the price is wrong. Ethan, still shaken, obeyed, his fingers clumsy on the register. The screen blinked, $24.99, just as before. Maria stepped in again, her voice steady despite the strain in her eyes. Ma'am, the price is correct. I can apply a one-time discount to help, but the sale doesn't cover this brand. Karen's laugh was sharp, mocking. You're all in on it, aren't you? Scamming customers. I'll report this to corporate. Her threats echoed, but they were losing their edge. The other customers, now a small crowd, murmured among themselves. Jake's video caught their reactions: disgust, amusement, pity, each face adding to the narrative he was crafting. Then came the twist that turned the tide. Jake, still filming, spoke up. Ma'am, I've got this all on video. You're yelling at a kid over a mistake you made. Maybe calm down before this goes online. His voice was casual, almost friendly, but the threat was clear. Karen froze, her head snapping toward him. For the first time, she noticed the phone, its tiny lens staring at her like an unblinking eye. Her bravado cracked, just for a moment, but she recovered quickly. You can't record me without my consent, she shouted, stepping toward Jake. He didn't move, his phone still rolling. Public place, ma'am. No consent needed. The law was on his side, and Karen knew it. Her face twisted, caught between rage and panic. The confrontation reached its peak as Karen lunged for Jake's phone, her hands swiping at the air. Jake stepped back, agile despite his unassuming frame. Don't touch me, he warned, his voice low but firm. Sarah moved closer, positioning herself between Karen and Jake, her dog now barking sharply. Ethan, behind the counter, looked ready to bolt, while Maria radioed for security, her voice tight with urgency. The store was a pressure cooker, every word and movement amplifying the chaos. Customers backed away, some pulling out their own phones, drawn to the drama like moths to a flame. Jake's video, still recording, captured it all. Karen's wild gestures, Sarah's fierce protectiveness, Ethan's fear, and Maria's strained professionalism. Karen's world was unraveling, and she sensed it. Her threats grew frantic, her voice cracking as she pointed at Jake. You post that and I'll sue you. I have rights. But Jake just smiled, unshaken. Go ahead. Let's see how that plays out. His confidence was a quiet weapon, and it hit Karen hard. She was used to winning these battles, to bullying her way through. But now, she was outnumbered not just by people, but by the truth. The sale sign was clear. The price was correct. And her meltdown, caught on camera, was undeniable. She backed away from Jake, her chest heaving, her eyes darting for an escape. But there was no way out, not from the store, and not from the consequences barreling toward her. Security arrived, 2 guards in crisp uniforms, their presence calming the crowd but not Karen. This is harassment, she screamed, pointing at everyone: Ethan, Maria, Sarah, Jake. The guards listened as Maria explained, her voice steady despite the chaos. Karen's story, a jumbled mix of accusations and excuses, fell apart under scrutiny. The guards asked her to leave, their tone polite but firm. Karen refused, planting her feet like a child in a tantrum. "I'm a loyal customer. You can't treat me like this." But the crowd wasn't on her side. Whispers of Karen rippled through the onlookers, the nickname a sharp jab at her entitlement. Jake's video kept rolling, sealing her fate with every second. Karen's defiance crumbled as the reality sank in. The guards, unmoved by her protests, escorted her toward the exit. Her screams grew desperate, less angry now, more pleading. "You don't understand. I'm not the problem here." But the crowd's judgment was merciless. Phones were out, not just Jake's, recording her walk of shame past shelves of pet toys and aquariums. Sarah watched, her arms crossed, her dog now quiet at her side. Ethan, still behind the counter, exhaled, his hands no longer shaking. Maria gave him a reassuring nod, her own relief palpable. Jake, still filming, followed Karen's exit, his video destined to become a viral sensation. By evening, the video was everywhere. Jake uploaded it to X with a simple caption. "Karen loses it at Petco over dog food. Kid didn't deserve this." The internet pounced. Within hours, the clip racked up thousands of views. Then millions. Comments poured in, a tidal wave of outrage and mockery. "Classic Karen," one read. "She thought she could bully her way through wrong move," said another. Hashtags like Petco Karen and Viral Meltdown trended, turning Karen into a meme, a cautionary tale of entitlement gone wrong. Some dug deeper, uncovering her social media profiles, where she'd boasted about her customer is always right victories at other stores. The backlash was swift and brutal. Karen's world collapsed in the days that followed. Her employer, a local real estate firm, saw the video. Clients called, refusing to work with her. Her boss, citing damage to the company's reputation, suspended her. Friends distanced themselves, unwilling to be associated with the woman now infamous online. Karen tried to fight back, posting a tearful apology video, claiming she'd been provoked and misunderstood. But the internet wasn't forgiving. Her apology was dissected, mocked, deemed insincere. The truth was undeniable. She'd crossed a line, and the world had seen it. Legal threats against Jake went nowhere. His video was protected under public recording laws. Karen was left to face the consequences alone. But the story didn't end with Karen's downfall. Ethan, the cashier, became an unexpected hero. Comments on the video praised his restraint, his quiet dignity under pressure. A local news outlet picked up the story, interviewing him and Maria. Ethan, shy but articulate, spoke about the challenges of retail work, the abuse workers face daily. His words resonated, sparking conversations about respect and accountability. Sarah, too, gained attention, her stand against Karen inspiring others to speak up. Jake donated the ad revenue from his viral video to a local animal shelter, a gesture that earned him praise. The Petco, once just a store, became a symbol of a small but powerful victory over entitlement. In the end, Karen's scream wasn't just a moment, it was a lesson. It showed the world what happens when anger overrides empathy, when entitlement blinds someone to reason. But it also showed something brighter, the courage of people like Sarah, who refused to stay silent. The resilience of Ethan, who endured, and the quiet power of Jake, whose video held a mirror to truth. Life moved on in the Petco, the shelves restocked, the customers returning. But the echo of that day lingered, a reminder that even in a world of chaos, small acts of courage can ripple outward, inspiring change, demanding better, and proving that no one, not even a Karen, can scream louder than the truth.